Chrysler 300C. We got these lights, these three here, ABS, ESP, BS, and on the trip to London it went into limp mode and these lights came on, which means that ring is probably gone. I plugged it in onto diagnostic tool and it's showing, basically it reads that wheel, rear left wheel, it's not spinning whilst car is driving, which means either sensor or the ring. But by the state of the ABS ring on the right hand side, that was completely rotten, I'm just taking my chance and I believe it will be the ring itself, not the sensor. So handbrake on. I'm gonna try to loosen that axle nut on the rear left, clean up and loosen that up first, and then we'll go from there. And what we're gonna need for that is ABS ring. It's a tiny little thing. It's a magnetic ring. General tools, 2-foot breaker bar, impact driver, hydraulic jack, axle stands, penetrating oil, gas torch, something to kneel on, and a good prayer. And yes, this is another thing you'll need. It's one of these wheel bearing pulley things. You'll need that to set our magnetic ring back on the axle. First I'm going to jack it up, take the wheel off, clean up the axle end, nut and thread and everything. Right, jacked up, wheel off, axle stand on. This is the state of it. So it's going to be, if you look at that, you can't even see the thread on it. So that will be wire brush, penetrating oil and the blowtorch. Unfortunately, that is the first thing to go through. I don't like big oxyacetylene torches on this because they do cause, well, unnecessary heat to everything else around the system. This is really small pinpoint oxypropane. I use this for lead welding and for these things as well. Just going around the nut and just making sure it's a good heat applied all the way around the nut. I really want that nut to expand and to break off all the rust bond. Just patience. If you try to rush it, you'll snap something. Snap tool can replace that easily, or you can snap something here or round the nut off. Then you'll have to cut all that out, and that's not nice. Then you make a much bigger job than what it is. So just the patience. And work your way around. I used cold chisel as well and a hammer just to tap it around a little bit to loosen off any delaminating rust. It's just gonna apply heat now all the way around.
before we carry on, take that off. Got the thing off, so I'm just gonna do a bit of lubricant, penetrating oil. Let's move these things. No more heat, so I can put this underneath, protect my driver a little bit. Well, hey. There it is. Still a bit warm. Look at that. Came up clean. And that's the axle. Now next step is handbrake off. Remove the caliper. Get it hanging somewhere there. Remove ABS speed sensor. It's 110mm 10mm bolt. Just leave it hanging back there. Remove this disc drum, and then we'll remove try to remove hub from the carrier. So we got two 15mm hex bolts on these sliders, and undo them, and the caliper can come off. And got just a bit of wire. I'm just gonna tie up the suspension. Then I got these two bolts here, one there to take this cradle off. I'll take the pads as well. There you go, pads off. Now I'm just gonna do cradle and hang this on with the wire. That's it, cradle is out. Now we're gonna remove the disc. Because we have applied heat and everything on it, I've been banging around, it does come off nice and easy. Now just gonna do a bit of cleanup here. Now we got a few little bolts, or 4 bolts here, that we need to access, and that is use this spray thing. So there is one here, there will be one there. I'm just touching it and I can camera see it, so it's behind this bit here. There is one down the bottom there, you can see it there, and there is one on this side here, just behind that spring there. So in order to pull that out, there are 4 bolts on this side here, and they are E something. I'll have a look at, I can't remember exactly which ones they are. Let's try with E12. Is it gonna go on? Yep, E12 goes nice and snug on it. So it's E12, it's like inverted star bit. So first I'll apply a bit of heat on these ends of the bolts, because that is the bit that seizes up. And then once I apply a bit of heat on that, I'll be able to go on the back side of it and try to undo them. Right, I'm just doing that nut there behind, which is the one there where you can see that little socket. Now there is no room to swing anything here. So sometimes you have to think outside of the box. So I put extension on extension on extension on extension, and because that is 3/8, and I put adapter 3/8 to 1/2 inch, and I put my socket handle all the way back by the exhaust, by the almost touching differential. So I got more room to swing it there, so that's where I'm swinging it from. So it's about 1/2 meter extension upon extension to get to that point. Even sometimes if you have to get some extra extensions, do it from other side of the vehicle, as long as you can get a straight path to it. And here it is, it's coming out all the way back there. Ta-da! Now this extension here as well. And sometimes having all these extensions, it actually helps, because each one of them has a bit of angle slack, so you can actually have like an easy angle to pass something that's more rigid there. And there you go, that's one of the bolts. Oops. Done. Another 3 to go. Alright, can it be seen? Yeah, there is there, that's where it used to be. Now I got one on top there and 2 more on the bottom. They're all equally spaced. Right, the hub is released, 4 bolts are off. As you can see, all of that now is dangling. So all what is holding this hub on now is the bond bit on spline between drive shaft and the inner part of the hub. So I'm just gonna, for a few minutes, just apply a little bit of penetrating oil in there on that spline, bit by bit, and then I give it a good whack straight in, and we'll see. Might use a good whack, or might get my SDS drill and just use a hammer action right in the center, so I don't disturb the outer bit, or God forbid make a bend on it. So we'll just go with a hammer in there, just going, and hopefully we'll do it. So just gonna keep applying a little bit. Gonna make myself another cup of tea, and hopefully by that time that will be eased off and hub will be out. I got a few different breakers. This is just a cordless 2 joules DeWalt. Nope. Get bigger gun. And this is 25 joules breaker, concrete breaker. It's hard to do it with one hand. Yes. Concrete breaker one. Now it's just a matter of jiggling this back and forth. Another hand. Let's try to hold this like that. Yes. Yes. The hub is out. Hub and bearing are good actually. And what we're looking at is the our magnetic ring, and that is there. You can see my finger back there. You can see that split bit there, rusty bit. That's the magnetic ring. So let's try to solve that out. Solve. Okie dokie. Right, here it is. Just with a screwdriver, just snap that side, then you look at it. That's all good. Right, come on, zoom on. That's all good, that's all good. That's a bit worn out there, and that there is completely gone. And it's rusted up. There you go. That's why it didn't work. So now it's just a matter of cleaning all this out. See that? It's part of magnetic ring. So just needs all this cleaning up, nice and neat, and then we can proceed with putting it all back together. Get a bit of sandpaper on that, clean all that out, and yeah, then we're going to use these some of these rings. We put new magnetic ring on and then just turn it like that and press it in. So that's why you need a set of that. I actually bought this just for that purpose when I done the other side. Right, here's the new ring. You can see how it looks nice. Someone will say, yeah, we have some like a lines of this old one, but they're not actually lines made in a smooth ring. They're just it's just a debris. So if you take that debris off, you'll see the ring is actually smooth, same as this one. It's exactly the same part as on Mercedes E-Class. If anyone wondered, definitely is. You can see my other video, and I got receipt where I bought the ring from a local parts store, and it actually states that it's Mercedes E-Class. Just placed it in with fingers. Do not attempt hitting it with hammer, trying to force it on. It's gonna go crooked and you will damage the ring. You'll have to get another one. So no hammering, just using these bigger rings, and just press it gently by using power nut and just press it in. And here it is. New ring. It's pressed in nice and tight, snug on the axle, without taking axle out, without taking handbrake assembly out, without taking suspension out, without taking anything out. So I'm just gonna clean this spline up, slide this back on our hub, 4 bolts on the back, put it all back together. Job's good. Huh? These are the torque settings. Never can remember it, so I wrote it down. So foot-pounds is in towards the Newton meters. If you want to convert that, you just have to time it by 1.356. So caliper cradle 88 foot-pounds or 120 Newton meters. Glide pins 32 Newton meters. Axle nut 212 Newton meters. And wheel nuts 150. So axle nut, basically this one here, it's as tight as you can get it. There you go. And all what's left now, it's to clear all this mess, clear the codes and do a test drive. Right, so now let's clear the codes, do a scan. Chrysler, diagnose. Automatic. So left rear wheel speed comparative performance stored. So left rear wheel had the ABS ring that's gone all bad and collapsed. So if I go back and clear trouble codes, you want to clear it? Yes, thank you.
There's little flashes, beeping.
So it says it's all good. So if get out of all of this. Ta-da! And unplug. Right, another job